so glad you could join me today. Today, we're gonna do a nice, interesting painting. Uh, as you saw in the last video, I did a painting starting on a dry canvas, and same thing right now. It's still a dry canvas, so you're probably saying, well, what's the difference? The difference is this time we'll be using some medium. I have some in a cup off to the side, so I could put medium in the paint, and the paint could stick on better. So I thought I'd give it a try, see how it comes out, and I thought we could do that today. So let me grab my palette. As you can see, I have a big old mess on my palette, and today I thought we could use more colors. I thought today it's almost like a cheat day, you know? So, sorry about that. I almost sneezed, but that was a false alarm. So, again, how I said, dry canvas. Let me run the colors across the screen. I know me later on editing, I'm not gonna want to do it, but I still gotta do it. And yeah, let's get right into it. So, let's go ahead. Let's dip my brush in some oil. Now, the oil, which is medium, I'm not gonna use on the canvas. I'm using it for the paint. I'm applying oil, very artist oil, into the paint, and it works pretty well. It's better than completely dry. You guys saw how I wasn't struggling, but I was more um, putting more in work since everything was completely dry, and uh, it's almost like doing liquid white but without liquid white. I could grab the canvas and you see nothing on my hands. So without any oil, I'm just going into some straight white, and I want my focus point right around here. Ah, shoot. I remember I wanted to do this landscape, not portrait. But it's okay. I'm going to show you how to fix a quick, simple mistake. So first thing I do, pop it off. Something you don't see usually. And I'm just going to move my easel. I designed this easel so I know how it works exactly. Let me just go from behind. This is like behind the scenes. Okay. So you guys saw almost behind the scenes. So I'm gonna pause it since I need to finish it up a bit, and I'll come back once it's grabbed on completely. Give me a sec. All right, so we're back. Excuse that. I'm sorry. But we're gonna fix it. We're gonna make it into portrait. Yeah. Is it portrait? No, landscape I meant. So I just need to dip my brush in a touch bit more oil. Oh, that was too much oil, but I think in a way it'll help. If I were just to grab some paint and oil, just like this, I could do it one color. I'm gonna add just pure paint to see if that helps with the too much oil problem. You know what? Actually, I think that's a good idea to paint the whole thing blue. Start as a joke, but I think it'll be a good idea. Yeah, because the idea I had in my mind, it was landscape rather than portrait. So I had to change it. Let me take off some of that oil. Let me just tap out some of it. I'm getting crazy with this. In this series, season 4, I believe, this is going to be the crazy painting. Now, with some white, let's come up here. I think right here is that bright spot. And I'm going to work out a bit. Just work it out. Okay, we got that already. Now, let's go ahead. Let's go into a little crimson. Just, I don't know if you could see that. Just to dull it a bit. To dull this color. And I think I want some land somewhere there. Maybe stops here. Boom. Quick, little, simple. Just so I won't be too blue here. It's purple but to the bluish side, but I don't want it like just pure blue. That's why I'm putting it on the red to avoid it being just pure blue. Now I'm gonna go into some cadmium yellow, tap some paint into the bristles, and push that paint up into the bristles. Should get an even amount of paint. Let's come up here. Let's start and just don't stop. Just by already the colors, I think this one's gonna be nice. Today's a good day. And how I was mentioning, it's today we're using a bit more colors than what I usually use, but just for some parts to make it a bit more easier, you know? But we already know how to mix color. You guys saw how to do it, and I already practiced tons and countless times. And if I wanted to, I could always go back to, hold up, just making sure it's green. Yep. How I was saying, if I wanted to, I could always go back and just use a limited palette with just the red, blue, white, and yellow. But I think I'm not gonna do like, at least for now, I'm not gonna do how you did in the beginning with like 12, 13 colors. But I'm gonna do maybe 8 colors, maybe 6 colors, depending on what I think it's easier. Right now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 colors. And I think this is a good colored palette. And originally, I told you guys that I wanted to use a limited palette because of learning how to, I think that was season 2, learning how to mix color and all that good stuff. And now that I know, it's already good. And on top of that, I said that to not have to type in as much painting name, well, not painting names, but paint color names, as rather than if I use 4 colors, it's just 4 things. All right, we're gonna do some reflections just by pulling. Okay, you need a clean brush. I almost made the mistake of using a dirty brush. Pull down, go across. I have several brushes. I have so many brushes, so I don't have to spend too much time cleaning and washing brushes. Just around here, here and there. Maybe I'm gonna add a little bit of white to the yellow, just to do what I like to call an ultra highlight. We could blend these out at the end. These don't have to all be where you place at the beginning. Okay, let me wash this brush, because knowing me, I am going to forget. Just washing my good old 2-inch brush. And since I use so much paint on this brush, there's a little leftover, but that won't hurt me in any way, shape, or form. That's just, now here. That's truly the fun part of this technique. I say it all the time. Alright, we have this. And I told you we don't have to have all that highlights, so we could just blend some of them out. If you don't think they belong there after all, maybe you say, nah, I don't think so. I'm just moving some of that paint because there's missing on some few spots. And I don't want that bluish tone to show up as much. Everyone does painting differently, so I think that's good. Now, one of the colors I brought back was some Van Dyke Brown. So with some Van Dyke Brown, try to keep it straight line. Just like so. Okay. And another color we added, you might have guessed it, dark sienna. We'll put some white, leave it marbled. Look how it is. I don't mix it completely. And just graze upon it. And because I left it marbled, it's giving me many different colors on each stroke. Okay, let me clean my knife up. Now, I don't like how it's just a straight line or whatever. So I'm gonna break it up with some grass that goes on just by tapping in some grass. Okay, now let's pull out some titanium white. Pull it out as flat as you can get it. Cut a roll. Now, I like to tap and move to the side to do water lines. I exaggerated that first one, that's why it came out so thick. But if you're quick with it, then it'll come out pretty thin. And you could always go back. You could go back and forth. There's no saying what to do. Now, just simply, if you like, you can hypnotize. Okay? Now we have this. And that's the painting. No, I'm kidding. Although you could call it a finished painting. Now, let's put in a cabin. Maybe an old guy built this cabin and he comes here during his vacations. You know, he should be in retirement, but he likes to work. What can I say? It helps to make up these stories. Okay? I'm just trying to pull it down until I think it's good. Okay? Now, cut a row of the dark skin and white and just graze upon. You see how there's so many colors there? It's not just one solid color. It's not just one color. There's a multitude. Now, for this side, I think the light hits it here, so I don't think there would be much highlight. So I just mixed up a little bit of Van Dyke brown towards it. Okay. Now, let's use some mountain mixture. New color well, not new color, but a color that I put back on my palette. And maybe right there, right there. That seems about right to me. It's crazy how we're almost in September. Time goes by fast. Now, let's go ahead. Let's get a flat brush. Now this is a cheap flat brush, number 18. I'm gonna dip in some oil, take it through some mountain mixture, and just simply let's come up here. I'm gonna start like this just to do my indication mark. I'm gonna do a big old tree. This one's gonna be a big old monster tree. Put in the feet. Maybe here just comes down. And right here, it's when you're painting a tree, it's actually better to have a shaky hand than to have your hand be all straight and everything. Shaky little hand will give your tree some character. Now, let's go ahead. Maybe comes a big old branch. Maybe to that branch there's this brush is so good with this. There's some brushes that eh, but every brush has its purpose. And you just gotta test it out, see what works best for you and the outcomes. And just continue with how you like it. Some oil to that paint. Maybe here comes crazy branch. You just gotta make up these stories, you know? Here comes, okay, that one came out a little iffy, but you could always fix it. There's no mistakes. Zero mistakes with painting. You just gotta make the best out of it. Some people like the script liner. Others, everyone has their own preference. Okay. Well, I think I'm done with that because if not, I will keep on going. And with this brush, I'm just gonna pop in the shape of a bush. Maybe here it lives just right in front. And I'm gonna take some oil through that dark sienna and white. Sorry that I'm not showing my palette so much. It's a habit. Okay, let's come up here. There's some light flashing right here. There's just some light that hits this tree. You know what? That's not working the best. It worked good to make the base, but not to highlight. So I'm gonna use my palette knife. The reason why I said it's not working the best is because the color kept on blending. And I don't need the color to blend. I need more dark sienna. It's too light. This just creates some texture to your painting. And something interesting and fun you could do is go into some titanium white, tap it into any brush, doesn't really matter. And let's say I tap. And maybe the light source moves a bit. But it comes maybe like that. And there's those crazy little lines you just pull. And you can make this go absolutely wild. And if you think it gets too light on you, just put on a couple, just pick up a little bit of blue and just cover where it's too light. And it makes some interesting effects, but for me it would just take a bit more time since it's too much oil I put with the blue, and therefore I would have, for best results, it would be best to let it dry and come over and everything. Alright, well, I should be ending this soon since it's about 28 minutes now. And this one, I could state it's a simple painting because it truly is. The only thing you're working on is a cabin, land, and your sky, basically. The tree, that one's not um, tricky. Anyone could draw a tree shape. It's not sticking, so I'm gonna put a little bit of oil, a little bit of darker color just to darken it up. Maybe even a little bit of blue just to turn it more greenish. And since there's so much oil, it's not anymore a thin paint will stick on because it's already thin. What else can you stick on, you know? So I'm just tapping up, tapping, tapping, tapping. and just fixing up the edges. Just here and there. And maybe let's get crazy. Maybe maybe it has some leaves. I'm just lightly tapping, and since again too much oil on the canvas, little bit is sticking on, and that's actually in my favor because I don't want too many leaves in this painting. I just want a little bit amount, something like so. Just tapping, and I think I could call this it for today's painting. As you can see, it's a simple painting, but I got some tricks. So you just gotta practice. That's it. And from all of us here, which is basically just myself, I like to wish each and every one of you the best of luck with these paintings. And send me a photo of you do this painting. And if not, I thank you for joining me either way. And I hope to see you in the next painting. Until then, take care.